No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep sing about their new baby, even though, as they sing, he's been having an affair with another woman. That's why Streep has Heartburn, the name of one of 4 new movies we'll be reviewing this week. The film may be the most eagerly anticipated film of the year, featuring the great Meryl Streep and the great Jack Nicholson in a film directed by the often great Mike Nichols, based on a novel by the fine and funny writer Nora Ephron about her broken marriage to Watergate journalist Carl Bernstein, who, at least according to the novel, apparently had extramarital affairs during her 2 pregnancies in a superstar marriage that ended sadly in divorce. But for all of this incredible talent involved, this film is shockingly flimsy. Basically, all there is to it is Nicholson briefly courting Streep in one scene, a marriage ceremony, then some remodeling of a house, a lot of this badly played for comic effect. Then he starts cheating on her until she calls it quits. End of movie. Guys can be jerks. Thank you. We knew that. Here's the courting scene.
My wife's name was Kimberly. One of the very first Kimberlys.
My husband had hamsters.
Me too.
Not as a grown-up, you didn't. He had hamsters named Arnold and Shirley. And he was always whipping up little salads for them in the Slice-O-Matic and buying them extremely small sweaters at a pet boutique in Regal Park. Also, there was a certain amount of talking in squeaky voices.
Both of you?
Well, he was Arnold. And I was Shirley.
Not credible, not funny. The film is set in the world of New York and Washington journalism, where the wife is always the last one to know because the reporters are the first to know, especially gossip columnist Catherine O'Hara.
Thelma Rice is having an affair.
Now, with whom?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
With
You
someone.
don't know.
This is what I know.
Well, it shouldn't be that difficult to figure out who. It has to be someone taller than she is, which rules out practically everybody.
Maybe it's one of the Washington Bullets.
How do you know this?
She's talking about buying a condominium and staying in Washington if Jonathan is sent to Bangladesh. Now, obviously, she's having an affair with someone.
Maybe it's Senate.
Well, she's a funny character, but the humor doesn't work in this later scene after Streep has found out her husband. She treats the infidelity as an excuse for a practical joke.
Anything going in this town.
Thelma came over here yesterday. She's very angry at you, and so am I. She had lunch with Betty, and Betty told her that you said she had herpes.
I never said herpes. Come here, you little mouse pie.
You must have said something to her.
I said she had an infection. Mommy brought you a lolly. An orange lollipop. I'm sorry, really, I am.
Well, Thelma's furious at you.
Thelma's furious at me. That's really rich.
Listen, you bastard, you tell Thelma she comes over here one more time, I'll tell Betty she has the clap.
Now, you see, that didn't get me at all, because that's a setup scene for the little baby clapping. And the fact is, if Thelma being the one that Jack Nicholson is having the affair with, if that's going on, Meryl Streep is just going to be flat out angry. She isn't going to have the time to decide to play practical jokes on Thelma. She's going to want to clobber her husband and not make jokes. That was not funny to me, and what we are hungering for in this movie is really some genuine confrontation, as we would expect from anyone in real life. Here are 2 of our greatest actors, so let's strip away the jokes and let them go at it. They don't have to scream, they just have to be as smart and as revealing as they have been in their other films. Nicholson is oddly dull in this picture. Where is the self-reflective character he played in 5 Easy Pieces? Streep has been much more intelligent in a half-dozen films, even from pictures that weren't such big hits, like The Seduction of Joe Tynan or Falling in Love, 2 other films about marital infidelity that she was involved in. I think you have to blame Mike Nichols for some of the dumb humor, too, in this film. Gay jokes at a party, jokes about remodeling a house, and a payoff that is about as original as a cream pie in the face. There are a couple of good moments in Heartburn, but boy, what a letdown. And I can't tell you how I was really looking forward to this picture.
I didn't know when the movie was over why this marriage had a film made about it. They didn't make a marriage in the film that was worth making a movie about.
Absolutely.
And you can start at the end and work backwards to the beginning. This movie doesn't have an ending. It doesn't have a conclusion. It doesn't have a place it was going that contained something it wanted to say about these two people.
Do you think they were afraid to really tell the story of what happened in this marriage because Carl Bernstein, as everyone knows, threatened lawsuits?
I'll tell you one thing. The movie, as it appears on the screen, doesn't have any good parts. So you can always wonder whether all the good parts were taken out. This is just routine. This is no more interesting than the marriages of the people in the audience. And if it were going to be a slice of life it wasn't as interesting. If it were going to be a slice of life about a real marriage, that'd be one thing. But here we have Streep, we have Nicholson, we have a lot of chemistry going on in there. There should be some kind of an elevating either humor or ethic or insight or something, not just all of this whining, and all told from her point of view.
Yeah.
The male character, I'm sure he was, in the movie at least,
a jerk.
He's a jerk, but at least there ought to be something in there from his point of view.
The point is, I think they went a lot more to humor than they went to passion and anger, and that's a mistake, because we're talking about marital infidelity, not, for most people, a laughing matter. Again, in expressing our major disappointment with Heartburn, so many things misfire. Jokes, casting, character definition, too bad. The last thing you think of when on a show we had Nicholson and Streep in Heartburn.
Isn't that amazing?